Material bodies are not alive. However, certain types of matter organized in certain ways can serve as hosts for things that are alive. Does life, the soul, travel to a material body and animate it? According to this way of thinking, life, which is immaterial, can enter a material body and thus bring it to life. When the body can no longer sustain itself as host, the immaterial life leaves the body and thus ceases to animate it. The body dies and disintegrates. Its organization falls apart. This is the moving soul hypothesis. It imagines that immaterial souls, life forms, are things that can move around in the physical world. Above all, they can move into bodies at conception and then move out of them at death and travel to heaven or some such destination. Most people believe in these mysterious moving souls. But how immaterial things can exist in material bodies and move around in material space-time is never explained. If souls don't move, then they are static. If they are immaterial, then they are not in the material order at all. They never enter it and they never leave it. How then do such souls interact with material bodies in order to animate them? What they do is connect to them at conception and disconnect from them at death. The souls never move anywhere. The connection process is purely mathematical. Souls are unextended immaterial frequency domains while bodies are extended material space-time domains. The two entities interact via ontological Fourier mathematics, which links frequencies to space-time. Static souls do not exist in space-time and do not travel in space-time. They exist in a singularity, and they link to space-time. This is the awesome idea at the root of ontological mathematics, which fully explains the mind-body problem. However, science refuses to accept the existence of an immaterial domain of frequency outside space and time. Precisely because of this, science cannot explain quantum physics, which is all about the interaction of the non-local frequency domain of mind and the local space-time domain of matter. Science has no clue what non-locality means ontologically and tries to bury it in abstract gobbledygook. Everyone on Earth should be compelled to state in writing what they believe life actually is. Is life an innate property of existence or not? Is life a type of illusion, as science claims, and is definitely not a fundamental aspect of an innately lifeless reality? Is only one life, that of God, innate with all other life being created? But in that case, how does God create life? To put it another way, how can you create energy out of nothing at all? It's impossible. It contradicts the foundational law of the conservation of energy. If God is not the only innate life, are there in fact countless intrinsic life forms, monadic minds, ixal souls? Created non-innate life would be deemed temporal and contingent. Non-created innate life is eternal and necessary. It is uncaused and uncreated. It is a fundamental property of existence. In fact, the fundamental property. That's what Ontmath asserts, with existence being all about eternal and necessary monadic minds, foundational life, which cause everything else. Seriously, why is humanity not forced to reach a definitive view on these all-important questions, using the application of basic reason and logic? If all of humanity were brought into agreement with the definitive, correct answer to existence, we would at last be rid of mainstream religion and atheistic, nihilistic scientific materialism and empiricism. People have to be accountable for their beliefs, so they should be compelled to commit their thoughts to writing and have them officially recorded, and even used as legal documents. The reality is that most people don't have a clue what they truly believe, and have never really considered the issues, and never been confronted with any attacks on their positions, and never had to address them. Why aren't the beliefs of mainstream religion challenged every day? Given that they are ludicrous, why are they in fact protected, and you get canceled and deplatformed if you challenge them? What sort of world is that? One of blind faith and hysterical fanaticism that refuses to engage with reason and logic. If humanity were interested in the truth, it would insist on getting to the truth. But it does the opposite. We actually live in a postmodern world where everyone is told they can have their own truth, which is to say that lies and delusions have now been sanctified. A fascist these days is someone who defends the objective, absolute truth. Such a person is deemed a nutcase who ought to be canceled and deplatformed. We should know. The truth is now deemed offensive and hateful. You are a hater, bigot, and Nazi if you tell the truth now, because you have refused to go along with the lies that so many people cling to these days. For shame.